Hello and welcome to this evening's match between the Alexandria Reds and Arlington Blue. Before we start, the Reds would like to thank our ASA club partners, the City of Alexandria, Alex Renew, Eisenhower Partnership, PI Training, Lost Boy Cider, Kenya Knight State Farm, and Ortho, Virginia, for their generous support of Alexandria Soccer Association. And we'd like to thank Capelli Sports, the official outfitter of ASA. Please rise for our national anthem. Yeah, hey, Lucky here. Lucky in the corner. Allie, nothing over
course, the Alexandria Reds are wearing the red, and the Arlington SA Blue are wearing the blue.
It's a great recovery run from Logan Jackson there. Dangerous early counterattack opportunity for Arlington. It was a 3v1. Logan's recovery run helped to really just defend that opportunity and support her center back partner Tahira Turnage from University of Maryland. Hannah Taylor slows down possession for the Reds as they get into their attacking shape here.
Here's Cruz. You were talking a moment ago about Logan Jackson. A couple matches that I've seen, she's really made an impact on the match and on the roster as a whole.
Yeah, it's a good center back partnership that Coach Sinkier has with Tahira and Logan. Both very athletic, long players. Who can defend in the air, but also block passes, block shots really well. But then it's really the intelligence too, Dan. I mean, they're both smart players and can really read the game well.
That says a lot. That's something I think that if you're just tuning into soccer, you may not get the importance of being able to understand a match and how different matches take on different personalities.
Yeah, I think it's the beauty of the game, right? Week in and week out or match by match, you're going to see something a little bit different. Alexandria obviously beat Arlington, this team, earlier this year.
Back for the Reds is DeWitt. I want to remind you, the Reds would like to thank our ASA club partners, the City of Alexandria, Alex Renew, Eisenhower Partnership, PI Training, Law Sports, and we'd like to thank Capelli Sports, the official outfitter of ASA. Nice to have you with us. Dan Lang, Chris Arnold. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do with the Reds?
Yeah, Dan, excited to be here. Just tried it from deep. Casey's all over that. Talented goalkeeper, came out of Alexandria, started as well with Metro United. She currently plays at Iowa State. Yeah, Dan, I've been with Alexandria for since 2011, so this is a really cool opportunity. I oversee our academy program and futsal programming as a deputy director. A lot of these players participate or have participated in our programming over the years, so really cool to see them here playing in the WPSL.
You had talked about Ken Estrero and the fact that she kind of grew up a Red. Talk about the culture that surrounds the Reds organization and keeping a player within it for so long, even after they've gone to college, bringing them back and having them play here in this setting.
Yeah, it's all about the community, right? And building a community feel, a culture where you feel a sense of belonging, a place you can always come back to. So, look, we try to be welcoming, inclusive, make the game accessible. And what you see is players, they gain a really passion and commitment to the club, and they want to come back, whether that's playing on the field or even working with the club or volunteering with the club. So it's a great way to stay involved in the game.
Gardner there was looking for Meltzer, just overshot it a bit. 0-0 here early on from Limerick Field here in Alexandria.
What a ball. Oh.
Stafford. Canestraro there. Stafford goes to Vanderbilt, number 42 for the Blue. A Commodore, if you will. Even if you won't, that's what she says.
I'm more of a LSU Tiger fan myself, but what a cross-field pass there, to find the player that was free on the opposite side. She was able to isolate our left back, Lauren Green, the Reds left back, Lauren Green, 1v1 inside the box. That's always going to be a dangerous opportunity. So really good play there from Arlington.
You can see racing over on it is Gardner. Stafford gets past Green. Stafford takes it back.
There, look. Great positioning, though, from Tahira as a center back. Very dangerous ball. You could see the center forward for Arlington making a diagonal run behind. Great penetrating pass in behind. But, again, Tahira reads the game extremely well. So she's able to intercept that pass before it can get more dangerous than it needs to be.
Tahira is another player that's been around the Reds for a while.
Tahira grew up playing in Maryland, Dan. Oh, what a pass. Look at this, is good. I know Coach Scott's going to love that, right? That pass that goes in between the lines of the Arlington midfield players. Allows them opportunities to look forward once you break the midfield line of an opponent. But then going back to Tahira, grew up with Maryland United. She played high school ball at St. Stephen's, St. Agnes in Alexandria, Virginia, which is a wonderful place academically, athletically. Later in her career, as she jumped into college, is when she started to play with the Reds, and has just been a great addition to the group. Personality, her temperament, and she just enjoys the game. She just enjoys playing.
And you need players like that, ones that just enjoy the game. Obviously, they want to get to be as good as they can at it, and she is good, but ones that just enjoy the game, aren't being forced to play it, or their parents aren't into them for playing it for a scholarship reason or whatever, but truly have a passion for the game. Here's Stafford.
Oh. A lot of pressure there from Arlington on the Alexandria back line. Ended up being an offside, but I appreciate the run. It was a late run on the far side of the field. Arlington did a good job to find that player in behind.
Here's Green. Trying to find Gardner, but a little bit too far out in front. Playing here on turf at Lemerick Field, standing atop 18 million gallons of water, most of which has been treated.
We've got enough water this week.
Right. Yes, indeed. Lots of roads yesterday and today in particular. Well, I was on the roads yesterday and today, and listening to different weather reports, were flooded out, which you get in this area. Here's Tahira.
Like to see the Reds try to find, when they're building from the back with their center backs on the ball, to try to find their central players a little bit more and earlier. Always good to play in to out. Allows you to free up space on the outsides of the field to attack.
Is that something that the Reds aren't doing and can do, or is that something that Arlington SA Blue are just keeping them from doing, and you tip your cap to Arlington. Or
Well,
a combination.
A little bit early to tell. We saw a good example earlier on the Reds when they played into one of their center midfield players behind the line, and then she bounced it out wide with a one-touch pass, and that player was able to carry the ball forward. So it's showing, obviously, they're capable of doing it, but maybe those lanes are blocked off, and Arlington midfield are doing a pretty good job at trying to block those passing opportunities. Oh.
Division. Now here's Stafford. Back on it is Green for the Reds. Stokes moving it forward towards Stafford. Nice job there of the Reds, though, curling that off.
So far, Stokes and Stafford have combined pretty well with each other. They look like they're on the same page, connecting with each other well. Got to put pressure.
Stafford taking her time.
Like to see Grace tucked in a little bit more there to not allow that player to get a free opportunity to receive the ball.
Over there on it was Kolick. Grace Franklin going to the University of Tampa, getting that one back in for Arlington.
Dan, the texts are flying in for me. We got a great crowd watching at home for the local derby between Arlington and Alexandria. Beautiful night to be cozied up inside with your family or friends watching a local derby.
Yeah, it is a hot, steamy evening here at Limerick Field, so much better to be sitting inside in the comforts of some nice AC, perhaps some nice fans if you don't have AC going, at least some fans, unlike we have here. Just saying. 0-0 between the Blue and the Reds.
That's good, finding the 6. Look at that. A little bit better in terms of finding the midfield player. Holding center midfield player was able to receive. That's McKenna Kolish.
Tahira getting it back to Canestraro. So now here's DeWitt.
Good.
Racing over there on it, though, is Stokes.
So just missed the execution there, but again, Dan, I like that the center backs for Alexandria are starting to find the players in the middle of the field to be able to, again, open up space on the outside, right? You can go in to out.
Stafford.
But also your most creative playmaking players are usually in the middle of the field. So you want to have them on the ball. Here we go.
Let's see what the Reds can make happen. It'll be Martin over to grab it for the Blue. And head coach George Hales.
You know, George has been around the game for a while. It used to be with the Washington Spirit Academy. Also was the director at Metro United and is now coaching at Arlington.
Here's Stafford.
Oh.
Taking her time, now weaving it over.
Oh.
Staying
Block.
with it. Right there with her is DeWitt. And that's going to get in.
Wow. It's great individual. What a wonderful individual run.
Because you saw the stick-to-itiveness as she kept with it.
Just
finding that right space.
It's so comfortable on the ball. You know, showcased a great individual effort there. It's a good goal.
Now here's Arnold. Stafford. Great honor as Stafford gets moving.
I'll tell you, Dan, this Olivia Stafford, she's been a bright spot for Arlington here early on. Every time on the ball, dangerous, attack-minded, wants to get forward, wants to take players on, and I think she rewarded herself with an assist there on the goal. So it's encouraging to see, something you want to see as a head coach for Arlington, right? You want to see players like that. They're always going to make it dangerous and tough for defenders.
Checking in for Alexandria, Parker McCausland.
Oh,
McCausland immediately getting involved. Alexandria looking for the equalizer, but there was D'Angelo for the Blue.
Yeah.
Franklin asking for it back. Stafford circling around. Again, Stafford was in the mix.
Looks like an injury here for Arlington. Let's see if referee stops play.
It's like maybe the goalie, Kara Martin, the captain, who goes to Georgetown. Looks like maybe it's her knee, maybe her right knee. As she's gingerly walking toward the trainer, she's going to come off. It's like Molly DeBrant is going to check in for Arlington. So Molly DeBrant will be in goal as Kara Martin steps off. So not only do you lose, if you're Arlington, the goalie, but you lose a captain and one of the smarter, well-respected players on the roster.
Yeah, you always hate to see that. didn't see any contact, Dan. I don't know if it was something off the ball. But 100%, right? Your leader. Again, Kara, great kid, also another former ASA player, moved on to Arlington in her later years. But awesome to see her playing locally at Georgetown. Had a wonderful season last year for the Hoyas.
Trying to sharpen those skills up even a little bit more entering this upcoming college campaign. Stafford rolling, feeding off. It's going to be Paris. You take a sigh of relief.
I'll tell you, Stafford is a dangerous player, and it's tough. You can hear the Alexandria coach asking for pressure on the ball, which I think is necessary. The challenge as a defender is if you get too tight too early, that player can spin off of you or roll off of you easily, and it can be dangerous and hard to defend. You're always going to be playing catch-up at that point. So I think just trying to slow your speed down a little bit as you're pressuring the ball can help to contain that attacker so they can't just turn you and start attacking your goal.
Tahira working it to DeWitt. Now she'll take it back. Looking for a friendly.
Oh, what a pass.
Scooting it ahead.
Dan, there's nothing that I like more. If you saw there, Tahira, center back, was carrying the ball forward. Forget what player it was, but this right center midfield player for Alexandria began to backpedal as her center back was coming towards her. Right? Smart. Instead of going toward her, she's backpedaling behind the midfield line of Arlington. Tahira is smart. She can read even on the ball, so she can read defensively, but also in the attack. She can start the attack, was able to find the center midfield player, played it to the right foot so she could just turn and start attacking towards the goal. Those little things are really what showcase a great player from a good player from an average player, and so on.
A couple players have come in for the Reds. Mia Medeiros has checked onto the pitch, as is Nora Metcalf.
Gar, are you good? You checking back in? You're going back in? I thought you might be going up at striker or something.
So it looks like some good news. It looks like Martin is okay, the goalie for Arlington. And might re-enter here in a bit.
See, I love that from Logan there. Logan Jackson, she closed down the ball and had just had good timing, right? As the player was receiving the ball wide, she was able to slow herself down a little bit and defend her very well. That player wasn't able to receive the ball in turn. It's good defending.
Here's DeWitt. He was glancing over toward Deep Pasquale, but instead went over to Tahira, who we've talked about a lot lately. That pass not exactly where she wanted it. That's going to go high off Davician. One of the three players on Arlington that go to the University of Maryland, a Terrapin, Terp. So it looks like Martin is checking back in for Arlington. The Georgetown captain will be back in goal as Molly DeBrant steps off the pitch. Fans, we want to remind you, if you're coming out to a home game, stop by Lost Boys Cider, a locally crafted experience before or after the game. Not too far from here. A 5-minute walk.
Oh,
streaking
what a
ahead.
ball.
Here's Cruz.
It's a great attack from Alexandria. I mean, 2 to 3 passes, and they're in the opponent's penalty box with a chance on goal. I'm sure head coach Scott Sankier is pleased about that build-up play.
Just a little bit too far out in front of Cruz. She couldn't get enough on it.
Yeah, it looked like it. It's a little bit slick out there, too, and
Sure.
she just couldn't make the contact that she would have liked. But, Dan, going back to Lost Boy, what a place.
I have yet to indulge. I'll have to make it a spot here in the next couple weeks or so.
Ah, yes. Quality cidery here in Alexandria, Virginia. Gotta love it.
Do they have some nice nourishment as well? Or are we just doing ciders? Or do they have a nice, bratwurst or a pretzel or something?
You usually catch a food truck just outside.
Okay.
I think you'd like it.
I'll give it a whirl. Lost Boys cider. Here's
What a touch.
Holly feeding off. And that's going to find the back of the net. So that's going to give Arlington their second goal.
I think that's Kate Hawley.
So that was Kate Hawley with the goal. So we've seen Kate Hawley and I believe it was Olivia Stafford on the first goal. Or did she have the assist?
I think she had the assist, Olivia. There, Kate, wow, it was the first touch for me, Dan. Receiving a ball, just rocketed at her hip height. Was able to take it down with the inside of her foot under tight control. Started the ability to create that chance and ultimately goal for the Arlington Blues.
Here's Martin. Talk about the rivalry between these two squads, and obviously, as we've already talked about, a couple players have gone over from one side to the other, so that obviously adds to it. But the players knowing one another from growing up together playing, as well as from the college ranks, and just the overall rivalry between these two, not to mention the geographically close space.
Well, you hit it there. I mean, both clubs just so close to each other and have a long history, and it's a healthy rivalry, if you want to call it that.
I like that. Yeah.
Where again, like you mentioned it, Dan, the overlap in all these players know each other at some point or run across each other. Here's Stafford again.
Stafford looked like she was looking toward Davician, but Davician changed her trajectory.
But it goes down to the youth programming as well, right? Again the distance, the understanding of each other's clubs.
Now that's going to get in. So give Arlington their third goal of the night.
Was that Stokes there that finished that, Dan? I believe it was.
Yep, Ellie Stokes goes to Colgate up there in the lovely village of Hamilton, New York. A spot that unless you're going to Colgate, either as a student or to see somebody there, you have really no reason to go.
Never been. And
it's beautiful, but I've been a few times. It's a nice area, but getting there's a beast. They have a nice place. The Colgate Inn has a delicious cookie brownie.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Yes.
I'm going to have to get the recipe, and my wife loves to bake.
Well, there you go.
So if we can get that recipe.
A skillet brownie, they call it. It's quite delicious, old school. It's large.
It sounds like it.
A couple dollops of ice cream. That's the only reason that going to Colgate up there is worth it, is the the Colgate Inn. Been up there for a few basketball games. So 3 goals. Cade Hawley and Ellie Stokes among those with him for Arlington. Up 3-0 with about 12 minutes to roll with here in the first half. Sander. That's going to go off of Hawley.
That's good.
Here's DeWitt. Deepa Squall
Find the
back
6.
toward DeWitt.
Yes.
Here's Stokes.
But again there, Dan, it's good to see Alexandria, that little spell of possession that they had that ultimately led to the left center back finding our holding center midfield player. Was able to turn and play a forward pass. Just a little bit unlucky, though, similar to Grace's pass there. That's just not connecting there at the end. But you can see the idea starting to develop in terms of how they want to play. It's a matter of being able to execute it.
How important is it, if you're the Reds, to chip away and get at least 1 goal before halftime?
That'd be a game changer. To score the next goal is really important for either team, right? If you're Arlington, you're feeling even more comfortable with another goal. If Alexandria, against the run of play, maybe here can nick a goal before the half, I think it would really boost the morale of the group for the next 45 minutes.
There's Stafford as the shot goes wide. Stafford has been quite active here in this first half of action between the Reds and Blue. Here's Meltzer.
Yeah, good to see Grace Metzler there. Again, another former ASA player, plays her college ball at Williams. William Smith. She's been a little bit quiet so far this half. Grace is a very, fast, powerful player. Likes to be running forward with the ball towards the goal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's had limited opportunities so far this first half being on the ball. Maybe at halftime, coach can look at some adjustments to try to get her more involved in the game.
Hawley feeds off, now takes it back. Knocked away. Grace Franklin, going to the University of Tampa, will be getting it in for Arlington. Hawley in a lot of traffic. Checking in for the Reds is Damari Curry, taking the place of Grace Metzler.
Looks as if Nicole Cargill didn't make it today for the match for whatever reason, but leading, it's always tough. Leading goal scorer of the conference last year, a big attacking threat for the Alexandria Reds. Be great to see how she would respond in a match like this, and talk about scoring before the half. She's an impact player.
Yes. No, they've definitely felt her void here in this match.
Oh.
There's Cruz. Has it knocked away? Cruz staying with it, though.
Yeah, I like that instruction from Coach Scott Sankier for, their right wing player for Alexandria Reds, defensively being able to tuck more inside centrally to condense the field. Limits the space when Arlington is trying to switch the ball from one side of the field to the other to then attack. If your weak side players are a little more central, it can keep Arlington pinned to one side of the field. If you allow them to free up to the opposite side, they're going to have a little more opportunity to attack forward.
3-0 the score with Arlington up on Alexandria.
If I'm Coach Scott here, I'm sending Tahira forward in the box. Former basketball player, standout as a youth. I'm getting her inside of the box here on this corner kick.
Has some height, towering over the rest of the players on the pitch right now. Stafford
again
staying with it between a pair of Reds. Trying to push ahead here. And they're Canestraro able to corral it.
Yeah, again, just dangerous all half. Stafford. She's got a really, determined mind when she's on the ball. It's like, you can't take the ball off of her. It's just a dangerous player. Inside, outside, likes to play, take players on the dribble. Got an assist today as well. Well-rounded player.
Again, the blue playing aggressively. Now here's Martin.
Yeah.
Green asking for it. Gets past her.
Yeah, that was a close one. The linesman did call it offside. I think the first near side player might have been off, but the ball skipped through to the player more central. But hard to see. We don't have VAR here, so we can't go back to the replay.
Perhaps we could add that for future broadcast.
Yeah, we'll mention it to the leadership team at Alexandria.
Stokes feeding off.
Look at this run from outside
Stafford.
back.
Lily Green there was looking for Kat Paris. Green will do it again.
Reds just want to close out this half, regroup at halftime, and see if they can get an early goal at the start of the second half. I think would really change the dynamic of the game here.
Mm-hmm. Firing ahead. Emmanuel feeding off. About a minute of extra time will be added here at the end of first half.
So one of these games as a coach for Alexandria, I from my coaching days, Dan, it feels like everyone is just one step late.
The fourth official has announced there will be a minimum of 1 minute of additional time.
That's not really a lot you can teach when you're a step late, right? Or is there? Is there schematically anything you can do to try to remedy that?
Such a great question. It's here we go. This is.
And here, Gardner getting through.
This could be the chance they need. Great tackle.
There's Cruz. Her shot's going to be wide.
Looked like a handball. But yeah, to your question, it's
I posed the tough ones.
It's something structurally that's a little bit off in the timing. Players being able to move together as a unit. You're seeing times where an Alexandria, maybe it's their wing player, is going to go pressure the ball. But if you're looking at the players behind her, the ball inside the box, maybe they're stepping a little bit too late. Conversely, the Arlington players are finding little gaps on the field that are being left open. So, it's a combination of things. I do think it's something that some slight adjustments at halftime about positioning could make a difference.
Mm-hmm. That one just a bit high. And so that is going to bring us to halftime with Arlington up on Alexandria 3-0. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the second half of action in just a few moments. Back here at Limerick Field in Alexandria, Virginia, where it's a 3-0 lead for the Arlington SA Blue on the Alexandria Reds as we get set for a second half play. Dan Lang, Chris Arnold with you from Limerick Field, as a couple goals in that first half were scored by Ellie Stokes. One of them in the 18th minute, another in the 31st minute. Also scoring was Kate Hawley from the University of Maryland in the 29th minute. So 3 goals in that first half for Arlington. So Alexandria with their work cut out for them here in half number 2. See what changes Coach Scott Sinkier is going to bring. Chris, I believe you maybe had a chance to get into the huddle a bit at the half. Any intelligence you can share?
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, Dan, I think, one of the things mentioned, and we talked about it on the broadcast, just the Reds being a little reactionary, a little bit slow with their pressure, or the next defender, second defender, third defender being a little bit late. And I know that's one thing that Coach Scott was really trying to energize the group into, hey, motivate, wake up a little bit. Let's get there earlier. Because a lot of the trouble that they're seeing is starting from just allowing the Arlington team to have a little bit too much space and time on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if defensively a little bit better pressure on the ball, a little bit more organized, and not a little bit faster to get to places defensively.
Did you talk to him at all about the void felt by Nicole Cargill's absence here tonight?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it goes without saying, without your leading goal scorer, it always makes things a little bit difficult. And actually catching up with him before the game, he was unsure if she was going to be able to make it. So I could sense that it kind of changed the approach to the game today, a little bit of the dynamic of the game in terms of how he's placing players into certain positions. And then ultimately having that dangerous attack up front.
Working it over here toward Franklin. Physical move there.
One thing I'm interested to see is if Tahira will get pushed up a little bit higher up the field. Is something that, talking with Coach Scott at halftime, he was considering, as well as being a steady center back. I know that she's also very dangerous as she gets farther up the field. Mm-hmm. She can play in the center of midfield, and, it'd be interesting to see if he utilizes her at some point this half in that position.
As that'll end up out. Gives us a chance to remind you, Ortho Virginia is a proud partner of Alexandria Soccer Association. Ortho Virginia orthopedic specialists can treat your bone, muscle, joint, and back pains and strains. Ortho Virginia is the largest orthopedic practice in Virginia. To schedule an appointment, visit orthovirginia.com. That's orthovirginia.com. Nice to have you with us this evening. It's been a fairly dry match thus far. Here is Davician sticks with it, moves forward. That's going to go wide, not by much, from Kat Paris. Vice captain, one of the players from the University of Maryland, donning number 34 for Arlington, that is. We were mentioning how it's been a dry match for the most part so far, hearing that there are some rains and thunderstorms in the area, and that it is the yellow portion, but not red, so we should be okay. That's what I'm hearing.
It just won't stop the rain, Dan.
No, it won't.
Hopefully we can get out of here dry and get the match in. Fourth official's over here shaking his head, yes.
Fingers are crossed. Get the match in, get the pizzas delivered, get the things torn down, get some pie, and bounce. That's what we're looking for. And, of course, if you're tuning in and you're a Reds fan and we're Reds employees here, we'd like to see a Reds victory. Do a little homerish, why not,
They gotta get the first goal here. We talked about it being important. First 5 or 10 minutes here in this second half. Again, it really changed the dynamic of the game and the energy.
Circling around on it, Gardner.
It's better here from the Reds overall. Unfortunate not to connect that last pass, but it was a good 5, 6, 7 passes in possession of the ball.
There's Tahira.
Tough to be offside there. It's got to be a little bit frustrating. You know, being wide, you're facing the field. You should be able to really read your line and stay on side there. Really important for players to do that, right? You're able to see the line directly. So all it is a step or two to keep yourself on side.
That one going off the Alex Renew building. It's a nice building. I'm not sure quite what the architecture idea is there. The Waterworks building in Washington, D.C., which is a Navy Yard, has a nice wave to it, if you will. As you walk along the boardwalk, you can see that. I'm not sure what they're going for here, if there's a water component to that or if it's just a building with a slight edge to it. They thought it was kind of cool looking.
It is a beautiful building and a great view from the top floor there.
The penthouse.
The penthouse, the VIPs of Alexandria.
So you've had a chance to go up there and indulge on the experience. I get it.
I've seen it a time or two, Dan. I've seen it a time or two. Would love to see the windows up top just open up, though, a little bit. So you can feel and hear the energy on the field. You can get a nice, cool breeze that flows through.
That would be nice.
Just throwing ideas out for the city of Alexandria and Alexandria Renew to tidy up the building a little bit.
I like that. I think they're listening. I think they're putting it on the docket for the upcoming budget. Here's Holly. Kate Holly, one of the goals for Arlington. As she has that one knocked away.
Got to hand it to Arlington tonight. You know, they're defensively, what a run.
And that's going to find the goal as well. A little misjudge there.
That's a tough break for the keeper. Looked like she was going to be able to handle it. But I'm unlucky to give up a goal there. Arlington up 4-0 here early in the second half.
What number was that? That goal coming from Jenna Davician out of the University of Maryland.
And as I was saying, Dan, before the goal was scored, defensively, Arlington has been very well structured and organized, making it tough for Alexandria to break down. And even there on the goal, it started with a turnover here right in the middle of the field where Arlington was able to regain possession in good spots, able to get on transition from defense to offense pretty quickly.
Taylor looking to pass ahead, doing so toward Curry.
Oh.
It's also a chance to remind you, Reds fans, support ASA's Access for All initiative by joining the Red and Blue Club. To make a donation, visit alexandria-soccer.org/donate. That's alexandria-soccer.org/donate. Generosity supports free programming, scholarships, facility improvements, state-of-the-art equipment, and more. Of course, we're glad you're tuning in tonight. We'd also love it if you'd subscribe to the Reds YouTube page. That would help everyone out, including you, because it would come up more on your feed.
Oh, good touch.
Curry. Now Jackson.
This is where I think you miss Nicole
Cargill.
Dan, she makes great runs as a center forward. So that pass there from Logan, I think, it almost looks like she's used to having that connection with Cargill to be able to get in behind with the type of run that she makes. Then her pace allows her to really be a threat.
Here's DeWitt. Bringing it up for the Reds. Feeds off now Jackson. As Brunk will get it out. Brunk in goal here in the second half for the Reds. 4-0. Arlington has the lead, scoring 3 of those in the first half. As it looks like it'll be Sophia Di Pasquale checking in. Out for the Reds will be Logan Jackson.
Sophia coming off of a great freshman season at Brevard College in North Carolina. Played in every match in her freshman year.
When you said Brevard College, first thing that I went to was Florida, but it's actually in Carolinas. Okay. So I think of Brevard County, Florida.
Absolutely. Easy to mix up the two. There is it's a smaller D3 school in North Carolina. Sophia, of course, at Alexandria alum. Coached by the Serbian master, Peja Ilic. Coach Peja Ilic, longtime Alexandria coach, as well as Tim Lenzo. Had her in her later years as well. Coach Lenzo, the Virginia Girls Coach of the Year here at Alexandria.
It's a nice accolade. There's Taylor. Martin able to make the stop. Martin's looked fine since she had to come out hobbling with we think it was a right knee issue maybe, but she was out for a few minutes, has come back in and has so far helped pitch a shutout so far for Arlington.
Yeah, great to see her back on the field. Dan, she's also a player who loves to play on the field as one of the field players, not just in goal. So I knowing her for a while, she loves to get a chance to play striker every once in a while.
Do the coaches oblige? Or is it one of those things where, we like you over here, you're going to stay here?
Yeah, it depends on, hopefully the Reds here can get a goal to make sure it gets competitive so that, that's when you can experiment a little bit.
As we say that, Martin will step off, and in is Molly DeBrandt. So Martin kind of smiles, said something about the field as she came off, the captain of Arlington. As we mentioned earlier in the cast, goes to Georgetown, but she smiled as she came off. It's a nice field, but I'm not able to ascertain how great of a field it is or isn't and how it does with the rain. And we've talked about how it's taken on a ton of rain. And obviously has a nice system to get rid of the rain.
Yeah, it's slick, but should be fine in terms of puddling or anything like that. And it's a big pitch. The Limerick field is one of the bigger fields that we have here in Alexandria, closest to a full-sided FIFA regulation field. It's always fun to play on this field. A lot of space. An enjoyable setting up here as well.
Peaceful, as you can hear the cars not right next to us, but back in the distance. It actually is kind of a nice sound, for whatever it's worth. Taking a tumble there. Now racing up on it is Emmanuel. And Brunk able to get a hand on it. Margaret Brunk there diving to her right.
Brunk from Manhattan College. Really good save there, actually. I think she made it look a little bit easier than it was. Again, with the slick surface, that ball skid in there pretty quickly. She got down just as quick and was able to punch it away.
Oh. You can see a little bit of the frustration with the Reds between De Pasquale and Metzler.
Yeah, you want to see him just keep playing here. Grace and Sophia just a little bit off with their timing there, but I like the idea. It was Sophia looking to get a little bit more forward as an outside back. Just, again, the timing not quite synced up. Can be frustrating, but you got to keep playing every minute. Don't let the frustration get the best of you.
Allie Jones goes to the University of Pacific.
The University of Pacific in Stockton, California.
So it's not really on the Pacific Ocean, Stockton, California. They had a minor league baseball team, A-ball team, part of the California League back in the day when the Padres had a team in the high desert, Adelanto, California. Stockton was their arch rival, the Ports.
Well, I'd be remiss not to say that my darling wife, Liz Blount, field hockey extraordinaire at the University of Pacific
Okay.
many moons ago.
Okay, so you know many things about the University of Pacific. You can indulge much more than I can about Stockton. Or at least she can. Maybe you weren't with her at the time.
That is correct. I came into the picture a little bit later, Dan.
Nice move there, and a nice stop from Brunk as the shot came from, I believe that was Paris. Or it might have been Division.
Yeah, I think it was Davician who was able to, get a shot off from outside of the box. Again, another player who's driving forward, attacking mentality.
And there, the stop coming from Molly DeBrant. Alexandria is still looking for goal number 1, trailing 4-0 in the 62nd minute.
That was better from Alexandria, though, to slip a pass through there, able to get a chance on goal. I think it's two and a half chances, right, here in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the time.
Scoots it over. Division feeding off, was looking there for, looked like maybe Avery Hallman. Metzler was looking to thread the needle but couldn't quite find it.
Yeah, and again, you saw Tahira as the center back with her long strides, just gliding like a gazelle forward, carrying the ball as a center back into their attacking half. It was connected with Grace, who just couldn't complete that final pass.
Mm-hmm.
But again, as I mentioned at the start of the second half, even as a center back, Tahira can carry forward. But and you could see just her ability on the dribble to take advantage of space that's available. She's a very comfortable player on the ball. It's part of the reason why I think you could maybe consider moving her into midfield so she can be a little bit higher up the pitch. Playmaker, she can create opportunities. So at this point, you got nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Try to add some more players into the attack who can open up opportunities going forward. Here we go. Just carrying.
Now here's
Give it to her.
Metzler looking around. Feeding forward toward Gardner. Arlington looking to push pace.
Oh, it's dangerous here.
And for Arlington, that's going to go just high.
Yeah, I liked Kate Hawley there for Arlington, number 23. She did a great job in the run-up to that last shot on goal, just keeping the ball in play. But then again, dribbling at pace at the Alexandria back line to cause some disruption there ultimately led to an opportunity on goal. You know, Kate's been dangerous as well throughout the match. I think she's on the goal sheet tonight. Is that right?
Yep. She's on the goal.
Yeah.
With one of them. Her goal came in the 29th minute. Also a pair of goals tonight from Ellie Stokes. Goes to Colgate, had one in the 18th minute, another in the 31st minute. And then here in the second half, Jenna Division scoring out of the University of Maryland, counting to the 4 goals. So far here tonight, has Arlington up 4-0.
I'll tell you again, there's just some great talent out here, you know, individually as well. Dan, you know, you're seeing a number of quality schools, colleges represented here on the field tonight at various levels from Division I to Division III. It's great to see this for the women's game.
How much at this level, with what they're trying to do out here and, you know, getting better for their upcoming college seasons, are the players looking at the team component and looking at the individual component of, I need to work on this, I need to get better with this, as opposed to, yeah, maybe I'll step back, but we can help the team over here, we can win. Wins and losses versus development, that's a balance that you run.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a short season as well. So as a coach, there's only so much from a team perspective that you can fit in. Especially as a summer league, players are bouncing in and out at times. So to build that team cohesion can be tough. As a player, you want to get ready for your college season. Mm-hmm. So anything that you can do to develop as an individual player, obviously learning some team concepts while you're at it. But I think a focus for a lot of these players is to get themselves prepared for their upcoming preseasons and fall seasons with their colleges and universities. Got to maintain your fitness during the summer.
Do the coaches talk with the college coaches about what certain things are they may want to see some of the players working on, or no, not necessarily?
I believe so, and it depends on the school, I think, and the coach, but their college coaches and universities want to make sure that their players are you know, they want to keep tabs on what they're doing during the summer and how they're kind of keeping themselves fit, conditioned, and sharp on the field. So, yeah, I think it is something that these players will have individual conversations with their college coaches in terms of planning how they can, you know, again, just be prepared and get ready and things they need to work on specifically to be ready going into the season.
Layla Green checking in, as is Olivia Stafford for Arlington.
Uh-oh, she's back.
She's back. Stafford, a big influence on Arlington in that first half. Had an assist, but was quite busy. Helping set the tone for this one for Coach George Hallis's crew.
Good. That's excellent.
Metcalf working it forward. Now here's Gardner.
And you'd just like to see a little bit more of that build-up that Alexandria just did. And I think that showcases what they want to try to do is find a free player in the center of midfield. There it worked out well. Patience. Again, it was a similar example earlier in the game. Center backs dribbling forward. Right center midfield players just backpedaling into space behind the Arlington midfield line. You just saw it there. And that was a really good build-up. Intelligent, smart play there.
76th minute. 4-0 Arlington. Stafford tripped up, pops right back up. Brushes herself off. Want to remind you can join the Eisenhower Partnership for free family-friendly movie nights here at Limerick Field. Join us this upcoming Saturday, June 21st, and Saturday, July 19th, for movie and treats from local vendors. Doors open 6 p.m. For more info, check out Eisenhower Partnership's website and Instagram. Family-friendly movies upcoming this Saturday and Saturday, July 19th. As I take a gander to my left, what a beautiful sunset. As I can't see it on your screen there, but it's a magnificent burnt orange hue.
It is a sight to see. You gotta love the Limerick field here. Again, it's quality pitch, intimate setting. Dan here is going to snap a photo of the.
It's not quite going the dark hue that I wanted to.
Make sure to tag at Alexandria SOC on Instagram with that photo, Dan.
It's colorful.
There's Mia Medeiros with a shot on goal. I think 2 games ago, Mia banged a goal into the top corner. Again, former ASA player, Ithaca College, upstate New York. There's Grace. See her intensity there on the press. Something that's been missing throughout the game, though, Dan. Grace is a very feisty, strong, powerful player. Applied great pressure there, led to a turnover. Ended up being a foul, but it's kind of missing throughout the game.
Mm-hmm. Arlington pushing the pace.
Oh.
See, I think you have a better shot at a better picture than I did because your angle, you're closer to the edge of the tent. I was having to zoom in, and then, you lose some pixelation. It just turns into a whole thing.
Similar to the game, it's all about positioning on the field.
Exactly. Indeed. That's photography. Yep. So many parallels.
Corner kick for Arlington here.
As Brunk jumps up.
So far, both teams have defended set pieces like corner kicks and free kicks pretty well. Usually those can be a game changer.
Now here's Stokes feeding over. Emmanuel unable to get a handle on it. Cruz getting in the way. So it is starting to rain again here at Limerick Field. Just a little bit. Especially just a little bit based on what we saw earlier today.
Oh, man, I thought that the game was going to be called off the way that the storm rolled through Alexandria. We got lucky here.
It's just how well built Limerick Field is. And Alex Renew in the building. And the infrastructure here is fantastic. No chance that this was going to be a match that was going to be postponed or canceled. No chance. Or were you secretly hoping that it would be because you didn't want to be broadcasting tonight?
Oh, no, this is a dream of mine to be next to you, Dan, and we finally were able to get it in. My debut was canceled due to the weather, or technical difficulties, I should say.
Yes, yes. But they've been sorted out. That's why we're with you here tonight. As Brunk is over again. There's Curry.
That's well done. Good hold up.
Taylor.
It's great control by Hannah Taylor there. Good turn out of pressure as well.
Now racing over on it is Molly DeBrant. So we mentioned family movie night coming up on Saturday here at Limerick Field, and then Saturday, July 19th. Any family favorite movies that you have that are for the family, of course, you know, that you would go with, like The Sound of Music pop into mind, Lion King, Aladdin, you know, and anything that really harkens you back to your days of youth?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I would say, though, right now is I've got an 18-month at home, and Sesame Street is...
Okay, you never can go wrong. Never go wrong with little Sesame Street.
Is an all-timer. I know it's not necessarily a movie, but...
No, it's good. It's fun. It brings smiles. The Muppets always bring smiles, you know.
You pop Elmo and Big Bird up on screen, my little daughter's going to go nuts. It's great that that here in Alexandria they're able to have those types of opportunities for families, and you know, their field space and park space here in Alexandria is second to none. A lot of great opportunities, family friendly, and obviously on nights like tonight to have a high-level women's match here in the city is it's great to see.
Rain popping down a little heavier now here in Alexandria.
Looked like a foul, but referee let it play on.
There's Cruz as she races up on it. Brunk. Well, that's going to be intercepted by Stokes. Just wide there as that shot was coming from Stafford. Who else? We're going to have to discuss with Vanderbilt's sports information department on their soccer site. There's not really much info on Miss Stafford.
Yeah, I would like to see a little bit more about how she did this past year playing in the SEC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's big.
Strong women's conference among other sports as well, but
as Brunk is there to grab that. Beautiful campus Vanderbilt has as well. Nice breakfast spot right off campus called the Pancake Pantry. It's delicious. Can't go wrong with a Nashville breakfast. Pancake Pantry.
Now, what's your go-to there, Dan? Are you a sausage biscuit type of guy?
No,
or?
I go with the aforementioned pancakes. I do get a nice omelet usually with a side of pancakes, and they have some cinnamon syrup, which goes really well with anything. You wouldn't think it would. Goes really well with anything, including coffee. Can pour it anywhere. It's amazing. They used to sell it, and then they don't anymore, unfortunately. But they do still serve it at the restaurant. And no, I'm not. They're not a sponsor of mine or anything. I'm just talking about how good a breakfast they have.
A free plug for the.
Yeah. But that's just off of Vanderbilt's. So if you're going down there to see Ms. Stafford play a little soccer, maybe take a little breakfast for the match. Pushing ahead here. Brunk will feed it off here to Cruz. Medeiros lost a handle on it there for a split second. Credit Grace Franklin.
Big space there in the middle of the field. Oh.
There's Stokes, able to work it past Cruz. Now finding Stafford. Takes her time, Stafford does. Stafford has pretty good ball control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like whether it's tight on another player or whether she's got a lot of space.
Yeah, absolutely. And fun to see Stafford going 1v1 against Tahira Turnage inside of the box. You have University of Maryland player in Turnage against Stafford at Vandy. Good defending there by Tahira. I think patient. Always challenging to defend 1v1 inside the box, but was patient and was able to block the shot there from Stafford.
Racing through is Medeiros. Now Medeiros feeds over.
Oof.
That one just wide, coming from Metcalf.
Yeah, that was better there from the Reds. Again, Mia and Medeiros and Grace Metzler connecting pretty well there. Players who know each other well. Both played club soccer with Alexandria in high school at ACHS.
Here's Stafford off to the races yet again. Taking her time now, moving it toward the middle and putting it through. Again, the ball control, able to find the space and the timing, and that's another one. Her first goal of the night, but it's a 5-0 Arlington lead.
Yeah, you mentioned just tight control there. I mean, when we were speaking earlier about the 1v1 defending inside the box, but just a great timing to just chop the ball onto her right foot or with her right foot, unbalance the defender there, and easy finish from there. But I'll tell you, this Stafford is a very dangerous attacking player. Definitely somebody to keep your eye on going into the fall college season.
Yeah, impressed with what we've seen from her here this evening. Here's Metzler, had it knocked away. Now Stafford.
Oh.
Gonna feed forward. Racing in, now stopping. Nice job there. Brunk coming out on it.
Yeah.
So
it's a good save there, and man, what a ball forward.
Leila Green there rolling down. So they're saying no extra time will be added. So we are in the waning moments of this evening's match. And a lot of traffic.
special guest Felipe Furtado is here tonight.
Delivering a credit card.
Yeah, just back from Nashville, Tennessee with the U17 and U19 MLS Next boys teams.
Perhaps he took in the pancake pantry for a nice breakfast. Or maybe he didn't. He's kind of smiling. It's a great breakfast, but that is going to have this one in the books. And 5-0, not really a laughing matter here tonight if you're an Alexandria fan. But talk about some of the takeaways finally from tonight.
Yeah, wasn't you'd like to see Alexandria be firing at all cylinders. I think that would make for a very entertaining match. Today just wasn't the day. Again, a couple key players out for Alexandria in the attack that I felt had a general outcome in the match. But, look, you got to hand it to Arlington. The women played well, and, again, a lot of firepower in the attack and some players positioned throughout the field who were able to make significant impact on the game. But, again, Dan, I think to see all these talented players out here, all playing at different colleges and universities. Man, it's great to see for local women's soccer here in the DMV.
Fun doing the broadcast with you tonight. Maybe we'll do it again.
Oh, man, we'll have to go for a cidery.
I like it. Speaking of Lost Boys Cider, one of the proud sponsors of ASA Reds. The Reds, again, would like to thank our ASA community partners, the City of Alexandria, Alex Renew, Eisenhower Partnership, PI Training, Lost Boys Cider, Kenya Knight, State Farm, and Ortho Virginia for the generous support of Alexandria Soccer Association. And we'd like to thank Capelli Sports, the official outfitter of ASA Reds. For more, check out all the socials and, of course, come on out here to Limerick Field again tonight. Final score 5-0 Arlington over Alexandria. A couple goals for Stokes, Hawley, Division, and Stafford also with goals for Arlington. For Chris, I'm Dan. Have a great night, everybody.